Your Porsche is quietly leaving performance, smoothness, and a frightening amount of money on the table, and most of it comes down to things the dealership would simply rather you never learn to do yourself. I have spent years around these cars, and the truth is that the people who actually work on them keep a private list of tricks for their own Porsches that they never volunteer to a paying customer. Some are free, some cost less than a tank of fuel, and a few will technically upset your warranty, which is exactly why I am calling them illegal. None of them are actually against the law. They are just the moves the service department makes its money pretending are complicated. Today I am handing you 17 of them, counting down to the one free habit that is the real reason a well-kept Porsche can sail past 300,000 miles. Number 6 is my personal favorite, and when we get there, you will understand why. Let us get started at number 17. Number 17, the throttle and pedal adaptation reset. Your Porsche has no cable between your foot and the engine, only a sensor and a computer that slowly learns a lazy, smoothed-off version of your inputs over the years. Reset that learned map, either by disconnecting the battery for a spell or with a proper diagnostic tool, then let the car relearn with a gentle drive, and the throttle wakes up, sharper and more immediate, the way it felt when it left the factory. It costs nothing, it takes minutes, and the difference in how alive the car feels off idle genuinely surprises people. The dealer will never mention it because a sluggish throttle is one of the quiet reasons owners trade up. Do it on a quiet morning and take the long way to work to let it relearn, paying attention to how the first inch of pedal travel comes back to life. It is the simplest possible introduction to the idea running through this whole list that your car has been quietly detuning itself for years and nobody told you. Number 16, the full engine management relearn. Related but deeper. Over time, the engine computer builds up a stack of long-term fuel and timing adaptations, compensating for a slightly dirty sensor here or a tired component there, and it never fully resets itself. Disconnect the battery properly for 15 minutes, let those adaptations clear, and then drive the car gently through a full warm-up cycle so it relearns from a clean slate. Owners regularly report a smoother idle, crisper response, and occasionally a small bump in economy afterwards. It is the closest thing to a free tune-up there is, and it is exactly the first thing many of us do on our own cars after any sensor work. Just be ready to reset your clock and radio presets afterwards, and give it a proper 20-minute drive rather than judging it cold in the driveway. Because the relearn only settles with real running. Done properly, it can smooth out a hunting idle that owners have been living with and apologizing for over years. Number 15. Clean the mass airflow sensor yourself. The little sensor measuring the air entering your engine is delicate, and over the miles it collects a fine film that throws its readings off just enough to dull the throttle and nudge up your fuel consumption. A can of dedicated mass airflow cleaner, a few careful sprays on the sensing element with absolutely no touching, and 10 minutes of your time restores it to factory accuracy. A dealer will happily sell you a whole new sensor for several $100s when 9 times out of 10 a clean was all it ever needed. This is the kind of $5 job that makes you feel slightly cheated by every garage you have ever used. The whole trick is patience and the right cleaner, never brake cleaner or a cloth, because the sensing wire is fragile and a single careless touch ends it. Spray, let it dry completely, refit it, and the car often pulls cleaner from low revs and settles its idle within a drive or two. Number 14. Do your own filters. The engine air filter and the cabin pollen filter are among the most profitable items on any service menu, marked up enormously for what is often 10 minutes of clipping a cover open and sliding a new one in. On most Porsches, both are genuinely accessible if you simply look up where they live, and a quality filter costs a fraction of what you are charged to have a technician fit it. Buy the genuine or correct quality filters rather than the cheapest no-name ones, because a poor air filter that sheds or lets dust past is worse than the one it replaced. Fresh filters mean the engine breathes properly and the cabin air stays clean, and doing them yourself on schedule keeps the car healthier for almost no money, while the old invoice beside the new filter box shows you exactly how much was pure labor markup on a 2-minute job. Number 13. Decarbonize the intake before it costs you. Every direct injection Porsche slowly bakes carbon onto its intake valves, because no fuel ever washes over them to keep them clean, and that buildup quietly strangles airflow, roughens the idle, and steals power you paid for. The workshops know a walnut shell blasting of the intake clears it completely, and they also know most owners never ask for it until the symptoms are obvious and the damage done. Stay ahead of it on a sensible interval, and you keep the power, the economy, and the smoothness the car left the factory with. Catch it late and you are paying for the clean plus everything the neglect cost on top. On the cars that make it easy, a good induction cleaner run through the system helps slow the buildup between proper blasting services, though nothing truly replaces the walnut shell job itself. Treat it as scheduled maintenance, roughly in line with your bigger services, and you simply never meet the rough idle and the breathless, strangled feeling that ambushes owners who ignored it. Number 12. Fresh plugs and a coil check on your terms. Porsche Flat Sixes will run a long time on a set of plugs, which is exactly why owners leave them far too long, never realizing that tired plugs make the ignition coils work harder until they start to fail one by one. A set of correct plugs is cheap, a full set of coils is several times more, and a misfiring engine washing fuel into the bores is the kind of slow damage you only discover later. Change the plugs well before they are due to fail, inspect the coils while you are in there, and you keep the engine burning cleanly for a tiny fraction of what a neglected ignition eventually costs. While the plugs are out is also the perfect moment to read them, because their color and condition reveal a surprising amount about how the engine is running, lean or rich, healthy or struggling. It is exactly the sort of 30-second diagnosis a workshop does instinctively and never thinks to share with the owner paying the bill. Number 11. Bed your brakes in properly. Almost nobody does this, and it is why so many Porsches suffer juddering pedals and warped-feeling rotors long before they should. After fitting fresh pads or discs, a deliberate bedding-in procedure, a series of firm slowing stops from speed without ever coming to a complete halt, lays down an even layer of pad material and brings everything up to temperature correctly. Do it right and the brakes bite harder, last longer, and stay smooth. Skip it, as most fast-fit places quietly do, and you can ruin a brand new set in the first hard stop. Find a quiet, safe stretch of road. Make perhaps 8 to 10 firm slowing stops from a sensible speed with a cool down between them, and crucially never drag the brakes or sit stationary on hot pads, which is exactly what prints the uneven deposit you later feel as a shudder. Get it right once and the brakes serve you smoothly for the life of the pads. It costs nothing but 10 minutes and a little discipline. Number 10. Flush your own brake fluid every 2 years. Brake fluid drinks moisture out of the air, and within a couple of years, that water lowers its boiling point enough to give you a frightening soft pedal under hard use, while quietly corroding the expensive anti-lock and stability hardware from the inside. A dealer charges a tidy sum for a job that, with a simple one-person bleeder kit and the correct high-temperature fluid, you can do yourself in an afternoon. 2 years, no exceptions, is the rule every track day regular lives by, and it protects components that cost thousands against a repair bill you will never see coming until the day it lands. Use only the correct high-temperature specification straight from a sealed bottle, because brake fluid starts drinking moisture the moment it meets the air, and an old half-used container is already compromised before you begin. A simple one-person vacuum or pressure bleeder turns what sounds like a workshop job into a calm afternoon in your own garage. Number 9. Set the correct pressures and reset the monitoring. Half the Porsches on the road are riding on the wrong tire pressures because someone trusted a sticker meant for a different load, or never reset the system after a change. The correct figures live on the door jamb and in the manual, and dialing them in precisely. Then resetting the monitoring system so it learns the new baseline, transforms the ride, the handling, the tire wear, and even the economy. It is a 5-minute job with a decent gauge, and it is the single most overlooked free improvement on the entire car. Always check them cold before you have driven, because a warm tire reads falsely high and sends you chasing the wrong number entirely. Underinflated tires wear out early and waste fuel. Overinflated ones ruin the ride and the grip. And many owners are quietly stunned at how much sweeter the car rides and steers once the pressures are simply correct, after years of trusting whatever the last garage left them at. If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Number 8. Unlock what is already in your car with coding. This is the one the dealer truly hates. Your Porsche ships with features sitting dormant in its software, and with a model-specific tool such as a Durametric or a comparable coding device, you can switch many of them on yourself. Things like a gauge needle sweep on startup, an enabled lap timer, comfort and convenience tweaks, and the clearing of those nagging service messages. The dealer will gladly charge you to activate features your car already physically has, which is a remarkable thing when you think about it. A word of sense though, change one setting at a time and keep a note of what you altered, so if anything behaves oddly, you can simply put it back. Used carefully, the same tool also reads and clears fault codes properly, saving a small fortune in dealer diagnostic fees, and it pays for itself the first time you use it. Number 7. Run top-tier premium and an occasional injector cleaner. Your Porsche was built for high-octane fuel, and on anything cheaper, the knock sensor quietly pulls timing, costing you power and heat you never feel directly. Beyond the octane, a genuine top-tier fuel carries far more detergent than the legal minimum, which matters enormously on engines already prone to carbon, and an occasional bottle of a quality injector cleaner keeps the spray pattern crisp so every drop burns properly. It is the cheapest performance and longevity insurance there is, and the few cents a gallon you would save with bargain fuel buys you misfires and a decarbonizing bill down the line instead. You do not need to pour cleaner in every tank. An occasional treatment from a reputable brand is plenty, and on the direct injection engines, it is one of the few things you can do from the fuel filler to fight carbon. Treat the good fuel as your default and the cheap stuff as the rare exception, never the other way around. Number 6. The transmission adaptation reset, and this one is my personal favorite. Your PDK gearbox is constantly learning, and over years of stop-start traffic it adapts its clutch engagement points into something hesitant and occasionally jerky at low speed, which owners wrongly accept as just how the car is now. Reset that adaptation with the right tool, or through the correct relearn procedure, and then drive it through its learning cycle, and the gearbox feels reborn, taking up drive smoothly and shifting crisply the way it did when new. The first time you feel a tired, shuddering PDK transform back into that razor-sharp Porsche gearbox for no money at all, you understand why this is the trick I reach for first on my own car. If your low-speed shifts have grown clunky, if the car hesitates as it takes up drive from a stop, this is very often the entire fix, and it costs nothing but the relearn cycle. That is why it tops my own list, because no other free trick so completely transforms how the car feels to live with, turning a daily irritation back into the crisp shift you fell for in the first place. It is the closest thing to a brand new transmission that exists without opening the box. Number 5. Send your oil to a laboratory. For about the price of a nice lunch, you can post a small sample of your used oil to a lab and receive back a full breakdown of exactly what is happening inside your engine, the fuel dilution, the wear metals, and whether your oil is still doing its job. It is the single most powerful piece of information an owner can have, because it turns guesswork into certainty, tells you objectively whether your interval is right, and catches a developing problem while it is still cheap to fix. The workshops use analysis to diagnose engines all the time. They simply never suggest you do the same, because an informed owner is a far harder customer to upsell. Do it a few times across a year or two, and you build a trend, far more valuable than any single reading, because a slow rise in one wear metal warns you of trouble long before any light comes on. For the price of a few lunches, it is the cheapest crystal ball an engine owner will ever hold. Number 4. Have the factory oil interval and use the exact approved oil. The official 10,000-mile interval is set for ideal conditions and warranty periods, not for the long haul, and on a flat 6 that lives on short trips and gets driven hard, it is simply too long, letting fuel dilution and a thinning oil film feed the dreaded bore scoring. Change every 5,000 miles or 6 months instead, and only ever with an oil carrying the correct Porsche approval, the A40, C30, or C40 code for your engine, because the wrong oil at high temperature is exactly what scores those bores. It is the cheapest insurance on the car against its single most expensive failure. Always confirm the exact approval for your engine in the manual or on Porsche's own site rather than trusting a bottle that merely claims to be suitable. And carry a liter of the correct oil in the frunk so you are never tempted by whatever a forecourt sells. The number on the sticker matters far less than the chemistry in the bottle and the conditions you actually drive in. Number 3. Code and condition your battery instead of replacing it twice. A modern Porsche is electronically dense and fiercely sensitive to voltage, and a tired or wrongly fitted battery throws baffling expensive faults that send owners chasing ghosts around the car. Fit the correct absorbed glass mat battery. Have it coded to the car so the charging system knows its type and age, and keep a proper conditioning charger on it whenever the car sits, and you prevent an entire category of mystery electrical problems. Owners who skip the coding step routinely kill batteries in a couple of years and pay for diagnostics chasing faults that were never anything but low voltage in the first place. If the car is going to sit for more than a week or two, that conditioning charger is not a luxury. It is the difference between a car that fires instantly and one that has slowly drained itself into a no-start sulk full of phantom warnings. A healthy, correctly registered battery is quietly the foundation every other electronic system on the car depends on. Number 2. Get ahead of the cooling system before it ends the engine. This is the one that separates the cars that last from the cars that die suddenly. Overheating is what turns a healthy Porsche engine into scrap, warping the heads and scoring the bores. And the parts that cause it, the water pump, the thermostat, and on the older V8s, those notorious plastic coolant pipes, all fail with age and warning you can act on. Replace them proactively rather than waiting, watch the temperature gauge like a hawk, and treat any climb above normal as a reason to stop immediately. A cooling part is pocket money. A single ignored overheating event is a 5-figure rebuild, and no trick on this list saves you more. On the older V8 Cayennes and Panameras, having those plastic coolant pipes updated to the aluminum fix before they fail is one of the smartest preemptive jobs there is, because you choose the moment rather than the engine choosing it for you on a motorway. Learn the warning signs, a sweet smell, a creeping needle, a dropping coolant level, and you buy yourself the few seconds that save the engine. Number 1. The free warm-up and cool-down discipline that beats every gadget. After everything you can buy or code, the real reason a Porsche reaches 300,000 miles costs absolutely nothing. From cold, the Flat 6 has oil drained from its upper cylinders overnight and thick oil struggling to circulate, so you drive gently and keep the revs sensible until the oil temperature gauge, not the coolant gauge, reads normal, with no hard pulls and no launch control until it is genuinely warm. Then, after any hard or sustained run, especially on the turbo cars, you let the engine idle for 30 seconds to a minute so the oil carries the heat out of the turbo bearings instead of baking onto them. That is it. No tool, no part, no cost, just the patience the engine was designed to reward. And it is the single biggest reason the high-mileage survivors are still running while harder-driven cars were scrapped at half the distance. It asks nothing but a little awareness at the start and end of every drive. Yet it protects the most expensive parts of the car better than anything you could bolt on or pour in. Master this one free habit and you have learned the real secret this whole list has been building toward, that looking after a Porsche was never about money, it was about knowing what actually matters. So there are your 17 tricks, the moves the people who know these cars quietly use on their own. From the free throttle and gearbox resets to the coding the dealer charges for, the oil analysis that tells you the truth, the cooling work that prevents catastrophe, and the simple warm-up discipline that outlasts every gadget, not one of them requires you to be a master technician. They just require you to know they exist, which is the one thing the service department was counting on you never finding out. Pick a few this weekend, start with my favorite at number 6, and you will feel the difference in how your Porsche drives and see it in what you stop paying others to do for you. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.